While you're still skinny fat, in this video I'm going to show you some tips to get rid of the skinny fat body and actually still enjoying your life. I've always been a skinny guy trying to bulk up, but I did so many mistakes and decisions which I regret. That's why I feel that I have decent advice. And once you're ready, you can go ahead and get the workout program that I used to build my body from this to this. Go click the first link in the description once you're ready. All right, let's do this. Tip number one, find your starting point. A lot of you just try multiple things in the same time, multiple advices, multiple tactics or something, and you try all of these in the same time and nothing seems to work. That's because you don't have a starting point. You don't have something to guide you, all right? You need a starting point in order to try things and build from there. If you just start building or trying things out of nowhere, you don't have something to compare with, you don't have something to guide you. So, you've heard of calories, but here is my simple example. Calories are like a meter. You use a meter to measure the distance between point A and point B. You use calories in order to measure how much energy is in a specific food. All right, so now that we know what are calories, next you need to find how many you need. So for that, I want you to take your body weight in pounds, multiply it by 15, or if you want a range, you multiply it by 14 and then by 16 and you got the range and eat between that range. Eat that and track your weight for a week. I want you to track your weight every morning after using the bathroom, no drinks, no eat anything. And now you have a starting point. You analyze your body at the end of the week and you see if your weight stays approximately the same, very good, that's your starting point. What to do with that number? Because, okay, we've got that starting point, but what to do with that? I want you to cut 300 calories and optional, start doing 150 minutes of cardio a week. It doesn't really matter how you do it, if you do it in 1 day or if you do it in 2 days, 3 days, or every day, 7 days out of 7, it doesn't really matter. Just do those 150 minutes of cardio per week. Eat that number until you no longer lose any weight. So as an example, if your maintenance is 3000 calories, cut 300, so you're gonna eat 2700. You're gonna eat that until you no longer lose any weight. It's gonna be slow, but worth it in the long run. Once you no longer lose weight, only then cut 100 to 300 more calories again. And repeat this process until you get to your desired body fat percentage. That's how you lose that fat. The smaller the deficit, keep this in mind, the smaller the deficit, the slower you will lose weight, and that's the better. The slower you lose weight, the better. All right. Tip number 2, start building some muscle. Okay, but what should you do, right? First, sign up to a gym. That's the first step. If you want to do calisthenics, that's fine, but I'm not going to address calisthenics in this because I've never done calisthenics. So I'm gonna have to try and then explain it to you. So next, after you do that, get a workout program. For complete beginners, full body, 3 times a week is a perfect for the first couple of months. That's gonna give you the first gains. That's gonna help your body adapt to the training, and that's gonna give you plenty of stimulus and frequency, enough frequency. I want you to have 1 exercise per muscle, maximum 2, maybe for the back, because there are multiple muscles involved. About 7 exercises in total in a workout. Start with 1 set of 10 to 15 reps per exercise, and you switch the exercises a bit in every session. So you do, let's say, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and every time you switch a bit the exercises, maybe another variation, maybe you switch the order. You don't want to stress the same angles and the same exercises, the same joints, the same things, all right? Switch those a bit. In time, do progressive overload, which means adding 1 to 2 reps or adding 2 kilograms. Now, what happens? Here's the thing. What I want you to keep in mind. When you add the reps, keep the weight the same. When you add weight, keep the reps the same. You don't do you don't do both in the same time. Now, number 3, fix binge eating. You probably don't have this problem, but it is in fact a factor that can put you in a calorie surplus and not lose any weight. So the way I fixed it myself was to first stop buying the trigger foods. So for example, if you have a favorite or whatever, you have a sweet, that thing, a snack that you can eat a lot of, you cannot stop, but you can eat a lot, and it doesn't fill you up, you're not satisfied, you just want to keep eating. First of all, stop buying that trigger food. Now, I know it is very hard to stop buying that food. It's easier to say than to do, but the way I fixed that too was to not go to the store hungry. Or if I go to the store hungry and I don't have time to eat, I'm gonna drink a lot of water, loads of water, so my stomach is full and I don't feel like eating something. So I'm gonna do that, and then drink a massive low-calorie shake or ice cream at the end of the day, or when you feel that you have a craving. So you can add things like almond milk, protein powder, fruits, low-calorie fruits, sweetener, and a lot of ice. This is the cheat code: add a lot of ice. That's gonna make the shake even bigger, and it's gonna fill you up. You're gonna feel satisfied. That's gonna keep you full. Number 4, consistent. One of the problems is that you do the right things for a couple of weeks. You do not see the expected results, and then you quit. That, I think, is the most frequent problem that I see in the beginners. They do the right things, they do everything good, but they do it for a couple of weeks and they just quit because they haven't seen the expected results. My question to you in that situation: how long did it take to get in this shape? A few years maybe? Then why do you expect and why do you want to fix it in a few weeks? It cannot happen. You got in your position right now in a couple of years, all right? So why do you want to fix it or expect to fix it in a couple of weeks or months? It doesn't make sense. There's nothing wrong with slow but steady progress. Nothing wrong with that. And if you try a couple of weeks and then quit and then start again, there's no problem with that too. But try to stay consistent, because that's going to give you the most progress. As long as you don't quit, you will achieve it. That's my favorite line right there. As long as you don't quit, you will achieve it. And I wanted to also imagine the grandpa starting now. Imagine an old grandpa, low testosterone, but he's starting right now to change his life. He's starting to eat healthier, he's starting to lose weight, he's starting to sleep well, he's starting to lift weights. You can imagine that he's going to get some gains, some degree of the gains. He's going to get those gains in a couple of years. Yeah, sure, it's going to take a lot of time, but he's going to do a transformation. So I wanted to do that for you, for yourself. Do that, fix everything, and the gains are guaranteed. It's not going to be in a couple of weeks. It's not going to be in 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. It's going to be in a couple of months, maybe a year, maybe 2 years, but it's guaranteed. Number 5, live an active life. Find an activity that you enjoy and that brings the heart rate up. Walk with your friends, do some sports, take the bike, walk. Just do those instead of always going by car. Implement in your routine things that you enjoy. So for me, for example, the competitive sports are the best, even if I don't really enjoy the sport. So even if I don't like the sport, but it's a competitive sport, fine with me. I'm gonna do it. So those are the tips that I want you to follow and implement, and I'm sure you can do it. As long as you don't quit, you will achieve it, and you can get the exact workout program that I used to build my body from scratch, from this to this. Go click the link in the description once you're ready.